are there things to criticize President Obama on how this was handled? This the 23-year-old Nigerian getting on the plane to Detroit and trying to blow up the plane. Of course there are. They screwed up the allowing him on the plane. There's no question about it. His father had come in and said, look, I'm worried about my son. That had put him on some of our intelligence lists, but those lists did not make it to where they needed to go, which was for when he tried to board the plane, for him to be on the watch list, okay? And he bought a one-way ticket, and he didn't have any bags. These are telltale signs, and they should have seen it coming, right? And so those are legitimate points of criticism. Now, the Republicans have decided that they're not going to go that path. They're going to go a different path. Representative King from New York has decided the real problem is Obama doesn't use the word terrorism enough. Let's let him make this profoundly stupid point. Clip number 10.
You are saying that someone should be held accountable. Name one other specific recommendation the president could implement right now to fix this.
I think one main thing would be to just himself, to use the word terrorism more often. Having said that, I would say that any time we get any reasonably credible evidence on anyone at all, that they should go on at least a secondary screening list and be subject to a pat-down, and also to have the to be subject to a body scan. This is not a court of law where you have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that a person is guilty. Also, I think the most important thing you can do right now is to send a signal by putting people such as Abdul Muttalib into a military tribunal rather than the criminal justice system. If this is a war on terrorism, then this person should not be treated as an ordinary criminal.
All right, let me address the more substantive points before I get to his incredibly dumb one. First, there should be the secondary watch list should be expanded. You know, that might be a decent point. Now, President Bush had been criticized for the opposite problem, that they had so many people on the list that it became ridiculous. And the reason it was ridiculous is because it clogged up the system, and you couldn't really find the people that were real problems. So there is a downside to having too many people on the list. Now, look, it's a tough balancing act, but that's what we pay the government for. They got to protect us, and they got to do it in a smart and efficient way, okay? So the idea of expanding the watch list, it seems easy, but it's actually more nuanced than that. So just so you know. Now, that's his best point. Now, this second point is he said, it's not a court of law. You know, you can just search these people any way we like. Yes, of course, going into the airports, you don't have to prove someone is guilty before you do a search on them. We do random searches as well. But there are limitations. The flights are going to take forever if we're searching everybody. So I could do it. It's not a court of law. Yes, but how are we going to do this smart, efficiently, etc.? That's the real question. It's not whether you can. Third, he says, oh, we should do a military tribunal. Funny enough, actually, almost identical situation. Richard Reed, the shoe bomber, does the same thing using the same chemicals. And by the way, it didn't work then, so I don't know why Al-Qaeda tried it again this time around. Maybe because it's, well, I know why, because it's easier to sneak it onto the plane. It doesn't work as well, apparently. It didn't work in either case in actually blowing up the plane. But he had it in his shoes, and this guy put it in his underwear, right? And guess what Richard Reed, what happened to Richard Reed? They tried him in a court of law in the United States of America. The Bush administration did. And it worked perfectly fine. And we tried the guys that did the 1993 World Trade Center bombing in a court of law in the United States of America. They all got convicted. They were all serving life sentences. There's nothing wrong with trying a guy who was trying to kill American citizens in American courts. What does Peter King think? That he's not going to get convicted? We don't have enough evidence on him? Look, they're worried about the Guantanamo guys because Bush tortured them, and some of them are innocent. They got caught up because somebody got paid a bounty for it, so they're not sure they can convict them. Well, first of all, if they're innocent, we shouldn't convict them. But that's what they're worried about. In this case, you don't have anything to worry about. We got the guy on the plane trying to light his balls on fire. Okay? I mean, he's going away. Okay? So why do you want to do a military trial, a military tribunal? Just because it's a politics. He wants to be, oh, no, we told you the military tribunal was the right way to go, so that's what you got to do. But then let's get to his real dumb point. Obama should say the magic word terrorism more. I mean, think about how stupid that is. I mean, imagine Obama's like, hey, you know what? These guys are terrorists. This is about terrorism. And then the Nigerian kid thinks, you know what, maybe I don't go on the plane. How are those two things connected? How does that make any sense? If we yell at the terrorists more and we call them names, we'll have less terrorists? Come on, please tell me you're not this stupid. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to tell me that. Peter King has made this point before. In the West Point speech that Obama gave, he's like, he never mentioned the word terrorism. See, he's soft on terrorism. First of all, the idiot didn't even bother checking the transcript of the West Point speech. Obama used the word terrorist or terrorism 3 times in the speech. Of course, Peter King went on CNN, said that. CNN never corrected the record, et cetera, et cetera. And this is the same exact thing that the Republicans did with Obama earlier, when they're saying, oh, you know what, he's not tough enough, he doesn't get emotional enough, he needs to get out there and tell people that the other side is evil. O'Reilly made that point. Almost every political commentator on the right made that point. So what, you yell at the terrorists and that's going to scare them? Come on, man. I mean, they're children. They're so pathetically stupid. It just drives me crazy. I can't believe that this is the half of the debate in the country and they get taken seriously. And there's so many things that you could legitimately criticize here, and they go in such a ridiculous path instead.